it's a shock to me that he is going to go to the college football instead of going back to the NFL and trying to tie Tom Brady when it comes to Super Bowls. A lot of people are always going to attack Bill Belichick because he never won without Tom Brady. Tom Brady won without Bill Belichick. But hey, if he goes to UNC, rebuilds this football team and wins a national championship, or even makes the tournament with UNC, that would be an unbelievable feat. I think this is a great move for Bill Belichick, even though I would have liked him to stay in the NFL. But everybody's going to have their eyes on UNC. And by the way, Bill Belichick's going to get a lot of recruitment. He's going to get a lot of these top recruited players. Why? Because he's Bill Belichick. And he is going to recruit some of the best in the country because everybody's going to look at him and say, hey, if he did this with all these other great young players and he won Super Bowls, why can't he do it with me? And then I can get a chance to play in the NFL and make millions and millions of dollars. This is great for UNC. I don't know if it's great for Bill Belichick. Only time will tell.
I think, too, you've done what you've done, right, in your career in the NFL. You grew up around the college game. Do you think he wants to end his legacy where his dad started what Bill wanted to do for his career?
Yeah.
And it's at the same place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he doesn't fulfill the 5 years, but now when he's done coaching, he can say, I finished where my dad started this. That's something special to say if you get the opportunity to do. And I think that's probably, if I'm just being selfish and being a dad myself, as a coach, how cool would that be, for your daughter or son to take over, where you got your coaching career and wherever it goes. I think that's something to be said about, because he doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to go prove anything. But to go back and everybody wondered, I think there's a method to his madness. Obviously, he's not stupid. And I think that's one thing that comes into play when you're looking at it, and why, UNC, it's not a powerhouse, right? They've had some guys come out of there, and the freaking Julius Peppers.
Quarterbacks, mostly.
Yeah, that's true. But, Julius Peppers had a pretty good career.
Yes.
He also played basketball too, which is crazy. I would never want to guard that guy. But when it comes down to it, I think that plays a huge part. And I think that was why he went that direction. And he can kind of dictate his money. And he doesn't need the crazy amount of money, but, $10 million a year is not chump change. So I just think that's a part which played into it. And I may be looking way into it, as an idiot, but I feel like that played a part into why he went there. And I'm 72, 73 years old. Might as well finish where my dad started what I wanted to do the rest of my life, because I saw that from day one.
I also think because this tournament, it opens up many chances for him to make that tournament and find a way to win a national champion. Anything could happen with these tournaments now. So it opens it up for him. And by the way, he would love to stick it in Nick Saban. He would love to do it. If he wins a national championship with UNC, he can stick this right up Nick Saban's ass. Hey, guess what? I won 6 Super Bowls and, by the way, a national championship. I think he would love to do that and give it to Nick Saban. They're very good friends. They're buddies. It would definitely be something that would really stand out.
Don't you think Belichick's the perfect guy for college in a way, though? He's always had this Patriot way where everyone's got to be in lockstep. And it just seems to fall on deaf ears with today's professional athlete. But you know who has to respond to things like that? Kids that are stuck there in college. And even though they're getting NIL money now, I do think that his more of a disciplinarian style still works at the college level more so than it does at the NFL level. And I don't know why he would be blackballed, other than that style is so passé in the NFL that no team is going to hire him, because players don't want that anymore. Now, maybe you go to an ACC school. Again, we're not talking Big Ten. We're not talking SEC. Still a major conference, but not the top 2, I guess everyone would say at this point. And he's going to be able to impose his will over there. And they're giving him the report from the Athletic is 5 years, 50 million to go over there. He's bringing Mike Lombardi, his old GM, out of retirement to be the general manager of a college. I don't even know what that means, to be completely honest with you. But I would imagine that they're now just going to be bringing Lombardi's kid along with him to be the OC. I believe he was OC at the Raiders or the Panthers for a little while a couple of years ago. I would imagine it's going to be a whole family job. Errol, in Java, you said that you asked this question to me as a coach. Now, I come from a long line of non-athletes, so it's not like I was ever going to coach with my father. He was more of a politician than anything, and it's just kind of, honestly, I think that probably drove me to be more of an athlete myself because nobody else in my family was doing it. But I do know that I've coached with a lot of guys that have kids that also have coached with me, and it's a special thing. I didn't coach with them. I wasn't lucky enough, but the Campanellis, I believe Anthony was in the news recently. The guys, I think they were involved with the Connor Stallion scandal, actually, up in Michigan. But those guys are from Jersey, and there's a whole family of those guys over there, and they win state championships all the time at high school level. And it's a big deal that you keep it together in the communities in this country. We get so obsessed with the #1 overall national teams and things like that, and these bowl game playoffs are exciting. But for a lot of people, the local high school community is everything to them. And if you can keep that in the family, you can have an institution in a town and a culture that you live in for like 70 years. And I guess Belichick's trying to bring his kids into this like head coaching community because that his son's going to be the heir apparent. Errol, this is why this is happening. He's got to. That's why he's doing it. No one's going to give Belichick's kid a head coaching job before he, in any other way, as fast as he would get it this way. Let's put it that way.
This contract's going to be crazy. I don't think it's a 5-year, $50 million. They went from like $4 million in NIL to they're saying they're going to give him $20 million. So all the stuff that they're going to have to add into it to get Belichick is going to be crazy. Giving his son a job after he's done. Like, there's going to be lots of nuances to the contract. And I think that's why it's taken so long to finalize, because he's going to put his stamp on everything, right? But to your point, Fish, like you said, he's the perfect guy for college. I kind of disagree with that. With the transfer portal and everything else that goes on, the disciplinary, they're going to just bail out of there and say, see ya. Bill Belichick would have been good 10 years ago when Saban came in, where he could get freshmen, develop them, get them in the Belichick way, have them for 4 or 5 years in the system. If he pisses one guy off, he's like, I'm in the transfer portal, see ya. Like, I think that's going to be a rude awakening for Bill Belichick. Whereas when you're in the NFL, you have guys signed to 5-year contracts or 4-year contracts that have to stay with him and have to be in that way. These kids, 1,300 kids entered the transfer portal the first day. Like, he's going to be like, what the hell? I just lost my whole starting offense and not know what to do. So I don't know how he'll do. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure Dabo Swinney's kind of shitting his pants a little bit because he's going to have to recruit against Bill Belichick in that kind of area. But yeah, and as far as the Lombardi thing, I know that Jabba, I read the other day that they're trying to get like owners to buy teams. So like Bayhost goes and buys Ohio State and just says, hey, here's $100 million, go spend it on players. So I know there's talks about that as well. So college football's in for a crazy couple years, I think. And I wish the NCAA would kind of slow everything down, control the transfer portal, control all the money coming in and out, and kind of say, hey, let's slow down a little bit because it's getting crazy.
I will say this. The only thing I'm worried about with Bill Belichick, he likes those young girls. Could you imagine him date one of those cheerleaders?
That might be in the contract. His girlfriend gets a spot on the cheerleading squad. That might be in the contract.
Yeah. He might be judging a whole bunch of sorority contests, I think, going on.